when we look at the road, we divide the road up into really at least 6 zones, yeah? We have the near field, so when we're driving about 10 to 20 miles per hour, we're worried about things maybe just 3 bus lengths in front of us, yeah? Wembley High Street is a good example. It's very slow traffic, lots of things happening, yeah? We have to be able to stop at a short distance. Then we have the midfield. The midfield is when we're doing maybe around 30 miles per hour, yeah? So we're looking a little bit further. For example, a dual carriageway, somewhere, I can't think of a place at the moment, but maybe somewhere like when we're driving through Sudbury, where the roads are quite big and you know there's not a lot of traffic, yeah? Then you have the far field, yeah? And this is when you're driving at like more than 40 miles per hour, the North Circular or driving the motorway, where you have to look really far ahead, yeah? Now, on Friday, what happened with the Blue Jaguar was the problem was in the far field, yeah? You weren't looking into this zone. You were somewhere around here, yeah? And maybe you were looking, but you weren't thinking in this zone, yeah? You have to be able to look in all 3 zones and think in all 3 zones, yeah? And the Jaguar was somewhere here. You weren't realising that the car was in the left, in the far field, yeah? But as well as having the near field, the midfield and the far field, we have to divide the road into half, yeah? And what happens sometimes is with learner drivers, they're worried about their side of the road, yeah? Even when they're looking into the far field, they're worried about their side of the road. What they're not seeing, for example, is maybe somebody who's going to cross the road, yeah? Because all their attention, if you like, when they're taught to drive, they're told that this is your road, yeah? Well, no, the whole road is your road. And if you have, for example, a child waiting here to cross, maybe by the time you get there, the child will cross, but they're not looking in that side, they're not looking in that zone. They're looking here, they're looking here, they're looking here. They're not thinking about the oncoming zone, yeah? Because you've spent most of your time in Europe driving, I'm guessing, on the other side of the road, I think what's happening is this. If we were driving in Europe, yeah, your natural tendency is to look here.
Potentially, yes.
Because in Europe, they would come out from this side,
yeah.
Yes? And I think what happens is, maybe sometimes when you're driving and your natural instinct is to protect the right-hand side because that's where the pedestrians are, that's where the cars come out from. When you switch over to this side, far field left starts to suffer.
Potentially might be, it could be underconscious of mine.
Possibly.
Possibly,
Yeah.
so I'm not aware of this cognitive process.
Yeah.
But somehow, it's good to point the problem at to make me more aware.
Yeah. But this just goes to show you how, from switching from one side of the road to the other, it can have an effect. Not so much in the near field, because I'm sure in the near field you are seeing things that would emerge, you know, maybe if there was somebody standing there, you would see things here. You're very acute. You're very switched on to the near field. But the far field left starts to suffer because your brain is more tuned to the far field right.
What if I say what I'm recalling now from this situation?